was trying to take me down. I don't partake in the fake, so they hate me now. On the daily, feeling so waving now. Used to do this shit for free, but they pay me now direct. And the deposit goes into my pocket, blows up like a rocket. No, they can't stop it. Hoes getting obnoxious. Quit bopping. Get chose or get kicked out the apartment. Bitch, I'm an artist, hardly not starving. Houston, we got a problem, James Harden. Roll up the green, roll out the red carpet. I'm so lit, but shit, I'm still conscious. And we in the H-town, so you know I'ma slow it down and hold it down for my city, cause my city down for me. Hold it down for my niggas, cause my niggas down for me. Hey, hold it down for my city, cause my city down for me. Hold it down for my niggas, cause my niggas down for me. Hey, hold it down like I'm supposed to do. Maybe have a smoke or two. I wanna welcome you back on the mothership with me and my brother on some other shit. Yeah, bitch, life is a trip trying to take it far. Put the gas in my car, then gas in my car. Never once wanted to be a rap star. I just wanted to hustle, so indeed I trap hard. All through the freeway, 288, exit 45 or 59 straight. I'm still late, jamming through traffic, trying to make a new tape, new classic. Feeling so good, feeling fantastic. Gotta make it pop till I drop in the casket. And we in the H-town, so you know I'ma slow it down and hold it down for my city, cause my city down for me. Hold it down for my niggas, cause my niggas down for me. Hey, hold it down.
Hey, man, gotta hold it down. H-Town, man. You know what I'm saying? What it do, man? What it do, man? It's your brother Atum Ra, back in the place to be. MelanatedIlluminated.com, coming to you live from Houston, Texas. Man, I hope that everybody is safe. Hope that everybody's enjoying their day. You know what I'm saying? I hope that you are using this time to productively spend with your family, with yourself. You know, I know everybody telling you that with this time, you know, you need to come out with a new skill or whatever the case may be. But man, I say if anything, you know what I'm saying, you use this time to work on yourself. You use this time to just, you know what I'm saying, take some self-care. You know, I think that that's, you know, just as important as knowledge and everything else like that, because, you know, we kind of living in a time of day where, you know, people so stressed out over the little things. But, you know, we gonna persevere, we gonna make it through, and we gonna keep pushing. And man, you know, today, you know, I'm back in the place to be. Got my special guest. You know what I'm saying? This cat here, uh, you know, probably knows me better than anybody in the world. You know, I not only say that just because we connect on a lot of the same vibes, but you know what I'm saying, this is actually my little brother. You know what I'm saying? Now he's my little big brother now. You know what I'm saying? Because you know I do look up to him in so many different ways. You know, as he takes a swig of the OE. But you know, I've watched him go from a boy to a man. I watched him, you know, go through, you know, a lot of different things in his career and his life. And, you know, I watched him blossom. I watched him bloom. And, you know, I remember, you know, when he first picked up a camera, you know, and started doing this thing. And, you know, a little while later, you know, he didn't blossom and grew into LA's #1 photographer. But boy,
What's going on, man? You can
what's
hear me?
good, bro? Oh yeah, I can hear you, man. I can hear you.
Yeah. Most people when they see us together, they be like, yeah, y'all related. But if you hung with a Tomb Ride and you hung with me, you would think that we're two totally different people. But we just the same nigga on opposite ends of the spectrum.
Yeah, for sure, for sure, for sure. Man, talk about your career, man, out there in LA, man. Like what's it like out there, being with the stars, shooting the stars, now getting exclusive interviews with the stars.
I think okay, let's start at the beginning. So I always had an interest in photography, but as you know, uh, we uh we couldn't really afford that type of equipment and stuff like that. So it was like I just really had to wait. You know, digital cameras and stuff started becoming more popular throughout the late, let's say, 2006 2007 with the Canon, the Rebel. But I went to the Army, and then 14 years later I landed up in LA. And shooting stars is actually pretty humbling, because you see a lot of the people on TV, and you would think that, man, all these people had their lives and stuff together, but in actuality they got problems and stuff just like you and me. Some of them struggling to pay their bills and do all that other different type of stuff. But it's just it's just not it's just not all that it's cracked up to be. I mean, it's cool to like get to know people, but like most of the stuff that people would want to know, you already signed NDAs, so just can't just talk about it, or you can't even show none of your work, because a lot of times they just pay you to come and take the pictures and then take your memory card and you leave. The best part is when you develop relationships with people and y'all grow throughout your career and see each other, at the epitome of different type of things. Like you said, I got relationships with a lot of people, and it's not just based on photography. You know what I'm saying? It's based upon these people, actually treating them like human beings. Because I mean, some of these people are mega celebrities. You know what I'm saying? And everybody around them just tell them what they want to hear. But I mean, when we're bouncing ideas back and forth, I'm in a strategic position to where I'm like, okay, yeah, I hear what you're saying, but this is why you shouldn't do that. And a lot of them, they not used to either people having conflicting opinions about, what I'm saying, the things that they say, or they just, what I'm saying, used to people just going along with the things that they say. And I ain't got no boss, so I be like,
Right,
shit, but I ain't gotta work with
right. You just keep it 100 with them, man.
you.
Man,
Yeah,
who is
I
the
mean,
bro?
uh
No, go
no,
ahead,
I
finish
was
what you
gonna
were saying.
say it's been some of these young artists, you know what I'm saying? Like, but I almost had to put hands on, you know what I'm saying? Like, just the simple fact that, like, these dudes, they used to talking to people any kind of way, and like, bro, first off, you always gotta respect man. So, you know, uh, like some of these dudes maybe old enough to be their daddy, so you ain't just gonna be handling me,
yeah, ain't gonna just roll up any kind of way,
right?
man. But I mean, you've been around, and said a lot of different stars, a lot of different people, man. Who was the one person like you saw, or was around, and you were like, okay, like wow, I'm kind of in the place to be.
Man, that was at the Players Ball. That had to be 20 2018. I got to meet Boosie Collins. So
Mm.
like I was like on, like, so I came to Cali in 2016. So I didn't really get into celebrity photography until maybe like late 2017. And so like when I was on like the rise in the upshoot, I got to meet Boosie Collins, and he was getting an award at the Players Ball, um, with by Bishop Magic Don Juan, Cat Williams. I mean, every pimp that you ever read about, you know what I'm saying, was there. And yeah, there you go. I got to meet him, and it was just like standing there, like just like, man, like you Bootsy Collins, because a lot of people, rap is not my favorite genre. I like blues and soul music the most.
Oh, yeah, well, that's
So
what we was raised on.
right, that ZZ Hill,
Yeah.
back when we was back when we was riding in old Whitey, you know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah, cassette tape.
Yeah, Daddy had that deuce in the quarter, Oldsmobile.
Yeah,
So that's just my favorite type of music. So getting to meet people that I grew up watching on TV, to me is the best thing why they still here and when they still alive. So that was the one person I was like starstruck with. But then
yeah,
I got to be the lead photographer on Quincy Jones' 85th birthday. So that was really tight. But the whole night I could only think the Regina King voice and don't look at Quincy Jones. Quincy Jones can't save you. So it was like,
yeah,
but it was such a surreal moment because it's like if you look at all of the people that was on the carpet right there, it was me. I got my homegirl in. She runs Shooting Stars Photography, and then it was Getty Images, and it was like E News, and it was only four of us right there, and then it was the other like news outlets. So the the person that's the most important is always first in the shoot. So I'm the lead photographer over Getty Images, you know what I'm saying? And that was kind of like a big thing. But that night I got to meet Fantasia, Dave Chappelle, Oprah, Lettucey, Danny Glover, um, Ludacris, and LL Cool J. Shit, that was the first time I realized that Rashida Jones was Quincy Jones' daughter, like actual daughter. Not
right,
like for real. I mean, I don't be paying attention, but
right,
it's yeah.
man. And that's what's up, man. Man, what was the biggest transition like when you moved to LA? Like just with the culture, you know what I'm saying, being different from, where you was from.
Well, like I said, I haven't lived in Texas in like almost 8 years now, but coming from Beaumont, I
Big
moved
money.
to I lied. I was in PA. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, down there in Port Arthur. I moved to Seattle. So when I moved to Seattle, I was up there 4 years, and then coming to California, like the West Coast already got a different vibe, but Southern California is its own beast in itself. Like the way people drive, the way people talk, the lingo, just how black people interact with each other is way different out here than it is in Texas. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So getting used to the learning curve and like, oh, okay, like these the players and this who's who. It was a rough transition. That's why I say it took me about a year to get settled in and just like start finding gigs and stuff like that as far as photography, because it was a guy up in Washington. They used to do our event photography, and my wife had bought me a camera, and that was like the first medium format DSLR I had ever owned. And so I was like, this how he feed his family, and I'm not about to start competing with my brother. And once I get down to California, I'm gonna just start, what I'm saying, doing the same thing. And it really just kind of like blossomed like that. Is a drive and determination is the biggest thing.
For sure, for sure. And man, so like, man, what's the number one thing that people look for in a photographer out there when they're trying to book an event? Because I mean, I'm pretty sure they everywhere a dime a dozen, but it's a reason that certain people are always in the mix.
Um, I mean, what most people look for is the cheapest option. So it's like, my commercial rate, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Like it ain't no budging from that because I know what type of products and stuff that I could produce for them to make them X amount of dollars. So they look for the cheapest rate. You know, they might find somebody that say, okay, I'll do your 8 hour event for $200. But then at the end of the event, they might have to chase them people around for 2 weeks, a month and a half before they even get, you know what I'm saying, a finished product. Um, the I work. I start working with celebrities after I start working with their PR people first, if that makes sense. Um, and once they see the work and the quality, once you do a good job one time, they already know to say, okay, this dude not gonna waste our money, and you know what I'm saying. He gonna. I mean, I got a 24-hour turnaround. So from the time that, let's say, if I leave the event at 1 o'clock. I'm at home by 2:30. The pictures is uploaded by 3 and edited by 4. And I'm going to sleep and waking back up at 6:30, 7 o'clock and going to my normal job.
Right.
So
Right.
it's definitely, you know what I'm saying, like who gonna work the hardest is what it's gonna, you know what I'm saying, all gonna come down to. But it's all about relationships. But knowing all that stuff is temporary because you could be rocking with somebody for a minute and all of a sudden they just, you know, just stop calling you. You know, the game is fickle like that. So, you know, you always gotta have multiple irons in the fire. So, you know, like I said, they live it, people that go on the internet, they want to make sure that you got a full frame camera. They want to make sure that you got all the equipment that you're supposed to need. But in reality, once you start moving through the scene, you say, okay, I don't have to shoot this in this format and take up all this space because the only thing that people gonna do is just take it and put it up on Instagram. You know how I shoot things that go on billboards is different than I shoot for people that's going on their social media.
Right. 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 For sure. For sure. Man, and that's knowing a lot of you know what I'm saying the aesthetics of the operation, man. Like, how'd you learn, man? To just pick it up self. You took any classes or
Man,
anything like that?
nah, I didn't take no classes. I didn't go to nothing like that. You know, even at Lamar, I didn't take uh I didn't take no photography classes. But I don't know if you remember, but man, I was taking pictures back then. But they only had like them 8 megapixel cameras. Remember the ones that was like big, like the blocks.
Oh
It,
yeah.
but you could see it on the Facebook. You know, I was at the block parties and stuff we used to have. You know, I was always interested in capturing the moment, but I just never had the opportunity
Right.
in order to, you know, I was still figuring life out. You know what I'm saying? When I really got into the celebrity volume of photography, I was stable in my life.
Right. For sure, for sure, and like you said, a lot of times it's just access,
Yeah,
to
yeah,
resources, access to equipment, and you reach a
correct.
different level. You know what I'm saying? Once you're able to actually get your hands on, some actual equipment, and man, that's the thing with our people, man. That's why they try to keep us out of stuff because once we figure it out, like it's over with.
Right. I mean, my company competes with Getty Images.
Hmm.
I'm in spots where Getty can't get in.
Right.
Like literally, and the people that, I mean, my mentor has been taking pictures since 1984. You know what I'm saying? And the only reason he scooped me under his wing because everywhere that he was turning around looking, I was there. You know what I'm saying? And he like, damn, like bro, like you really like out here, like, you know, making short, you know what I'm saying, stuff. So you know what I'm saying, the things with BT, VH1, Power 106, you know what I'm saying, the Outlaws, you know, all these different people that I, you know what I'm saying, met, Nipsey Hussle, and just right place, right time, able to get these right place, right time, able to get these pictures and develop these relationships with these people.
Man, what is it like, man, having some of those photos of Nipsey, man? Like I know you
Uh
got some real good ones.
it's surreal, you know what I'm saying? It's surreal. Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. The footage is hard to watch because like actually our little brother was the first person that ever told me about Nipsey Hussle, and that was way
Yeah.
back in like
So
2010. But like
hello.
like I told you,
Yeah.
I don't really listen to I listen to rap music, but I'm not just like okay, like all right, I hear it, it's cool, but that's just not what I want to listen to. You know what I'm saying? Just like put on some Anita Baker, put on some Sade, and you know what I'm saying. That's how we gonna rock for the evening, or some Otis Eady, Marvin Cease. You know, that's what I like to play.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But it's like okay, it's cool. And fast forward, let's just go 10 years into the future, or just say 8 years into the future. Victory Lap is about to come out, but I had already been working with his artist J Stone,
Yeah.
but I was cool with one of they big homies, and he like, yo, bro, I gotta get you on my artist. So I started working with him, and they like, yo, we gotta get you on the All Money In team, and I'm like, okay, you know what I'm saying? To me, it's just like, but like I said, still at this point, I don't know the allure, you know what I'm saying, of Nipsey Hussle and like who this guy is. The only thing I know that every time I come around, these dudes is just like extra cool. Nobody really tripping on me. They let me do my thing, and you know what I'm saying. I get paid and I go about my business. But as the months go on, I just start seeing like, man, this dude right here, he different. You know what I'm saying? So he had like like a relationship with the guy they call the architect, Idris Sandu. You know what I'm saying? Pioneer, and he's the one that created the Instagram Explore page at the age of like 14. You know what I'm saying? So like just seeing how Nipsey's mind worked, and then being the photographer for the start of the Victory Lap tour, and then come like less than a year later he's dead. You know, looking at that stuff is just kind of like, and like really like, man, you know, that killed my nigga. And it's crazy because I was up there the same day he got shot. I just had left like probably 30 minutes before to
Right.
go get something to eat. And shit, by the time I came back, it was just all bad. So
Just like that, man. Man. But yeah, man, you got some beautiful pictures of Nipsey, man. Yeah, man. Well, I was just scrolling through your IG and I came
hmm
across an interesting photo, man, that I need for you to explain to me.
hmm
I need for you to explain for me.
that's my boy, man.
Juicy
Yeah.
Spoon, yay!
Hey, justice for Juicy, baby. Justice for Juicy. Justice for Juicy. If you know, baby, you know. That's my boy. Hey, real friends, stay down. Okay, so
Justice for Juicy, man.
how did I? Okay, so I met I met Taraji P Henson, and we did a couple work and stuff like that together. Um, we we did that, but this is around the time that he's kicking off his singing career while doing on Empire. So somebody give me a call and like, yo, we want you to come cover the juicy, I mean the Justin Smiley, the Justin Smiley. It was the some 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 of my fears album. I mean it's a really dope album, but I covered his his album release party, and so shit we hung out till like 3 or 4 in the morning, just like right there. There's just like a alley, like a street alley. We was just in the alley talking, kicking it, and there's a whole bunch of people around and stuff. But yeah, Jesse didn't do it, man. Free my boy Jesse, get them charges up off him. That's just another relationship, you know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah, no, for sure, for sure. No, it's big time, man. It's big time, man. But
But stay
I
down with your folk, you know what I'm saying? My homie
yeah,
say he didn't do it. He didn't do it. They jumped him, they poured bleach on him, and they tied a rope around his neck.
well,
Yo,
man,
I don't care what nobody say,
hey,
man. Stay
hey,
down with
man,
your folk.
hey, man. Yeah, boy, it's a boy right here saying MAGA hats.
Yeah.
So that so that sounds like something I would say.
Like,
Hey, man, but like you said, man, stay down with your folks,
stay
man.
down with your folk. That's my boy. That was the homie before the incident. That's still the homie after. You know what I'm saying? Because like that, we worked together on that, and then right after, I think like right after that was the BT awards or something like that, and I had did like another one of his gigs and stuff like that. So you know,
Man, for sure, man. Well, man, outside of what I'm saying, photography, man, I definitely know that you are a politically aware brother. What I'm saying, kind of what's going on and what's going down, man, around the world, man. Today is April 25th. For whenever y'all watching this, whether y'all watching it in the future, there's conflicting reports, what I'm saying, that are coming out of North Korea that, what I'm saying, Kim Jong Un might be dead. Some saying he not, some saying he is. But like, man, what are you hearing? And what would be type of indications? What I'm saying, if he has transition.
come on, man. You the fans now? Oh, brother, I told right, it's the fans. He asking
Uh,
fan questions. Nah, I, pers- I personally think that he has made the transition only because of the way that the information came out. You know what I'm saying? Accredited sources tweeted that he had passed away from complications with the heart surgery, but then they deleted it because I don't think that they understood that the world didn't know. You know what I'm saying? Yet, and now it's more and more reports. I mean, TMZ saying he dead, so if
hey,
TMZ
man,
reporting
they be having the
he
scoop,
out of
man.
there, baby. They probably trying to get one of his doubles up to speed. You know what I'm saying? Because I think if he wasn't dead, he would have been on TV, saying, "I ain't dead, y'all tripping."
Right. Right.
But
I mean,
at,
and I heard some other reports that he's still alive and he in a vegetative state. It's like
yeah,
bunch of
but he
bunch
dead.
of
Yeah,
that
yeah.
die, man.
So I think that's. I mean, I don't hope he died. You know what I'm saying? But the way that is looking is that he's made the transition, or his body may just not be in a physical state to, what I'm saying, respond. So with that being said, even though he the leader of North Korea, man, I don't wish death on nobody, because there ain't no coming back from that.
That's
um
right. That's
but
right.
but at the end of the day, everybody got to go. So the only thing I could think of, which ain't that funny, is the episode on The Office with the dude, he the heart surgeon.
Oh shit.
He said, "My hand's number one. I kill you, you Kuza boss on purpose to escape from America." So
Yeah.
I mean, it's unfortunate, but yeah, I do think he's passed away. But being that, I mean, it would be the same thing, if Trump died, they would try to shield it as much as they could, you know, um, because the political figurehead of your country has just now died. So in order to keep uh people from, what's the politically term correct, trying to send outside influences and to get hold of the political structure, they had to do damage control before they ready to release that information to the public.
So for sure. Makes sense. Makes sense, man.
I
Man,
mean, take it like Castro. You know what I'm saying? Like Castro was in a bad position, and they were saying that he was dead almost like months before they officially announced. You know what I'm saying? His death.
right, right. Man, makes sense. Makes sense. Well, man, talking about our own politics, man. We got the 2020 election coming up, man.
Oh yeah,
Uh, you know,
ain't
uh,
gonna be
and,
no election. It's gonna be suspended.
hey, was it, it, it's funny. When years ago people were saying it, don't seem that far off now, huh?
Yeah, I mean, to me, I think Trump gonna win again. just for the simple fact that for the simple fact that the Democrats don't have a strong enough candidate in order to come out as a front
Why
runner.
why do they keep picking these bullshit candidates?
Well, I mean, really, who else that you got? If you look in the last 30 years, Democrats have always had some bullshit. They always had some bullshit. I mean, Obama, I believed the nigga the first time. I mean, I could not tell my kids that I didn't vote for the first black president. You know what I'm saying? So, but
Straight up.
what did we get from that? You know what I'm saying? We didn't get nothing. Clinton was some bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Then you go back before then, and then it was just all Republicans, and you know what I'm saying. So, if you take the left wing and the right wing, man, they the same. There's two wings on the same bird.
Same
You know
bird.
what I'm saying?
Same bird.
It's the same bullshit. So it don't matter whether you're a Democrat or a Republican, but they all in it for the money. You know what I'm saying? These dudes giving each other stimulus packages and creating shell companies and funding the millions of dollars into that. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying, yeah, hey, your boy Trump, hey, how can I get 55 mil? You know what I'm saying? I put on a MAGA hat too. And me, I'm gonna be at the rest with Ye.
Hey man, boys was
I'm gonna be at the rest with Ye.
boys
Hey,
mad
I'm
at
gonna use
Yeezy,
my chain.
man.
I'm gonna use my chains to wipe my tears.
They said the boy Yeezy hit 1 billion, man. Boys mad, man.
Bro,
Say it
Yeezy,
sell out.
hey,
Say you a sellout.
Yeezy been a billionaire.
Right.
Yeezy been a billionaire. Bro, you gotta think about it. Is Ye was already famous, but when he married, they both married into money. But now the Kim Kardashian brand was already worth it was already worth millions of dollars. But together, they Kim was already a billionaire. The little
Yeah.
sister, Kylie, was the youngest person to hit 1 billion. You know what I'm saying? So it's like if she hit 1 billion, you know what I'm saying? So the whole family in the billionaires. So
Right.
and then with Kanye owning Yeezys, Yeezy is I think it's like a $2.5 billion company, which he's the 100% sole owner. But they had the thing in Forbes where they wouldn't count some of the stuff and include him in the billionaire list. But now but now they don't have a choice, you know what I'm saying? It's only so long that they could deny the man the status that, you know what I'm saying, that he was looking for. And I think when it come down to the ego, that's the part that's really bothering him, you know what I'm saying? Because he been a billionaire for like 2 or 3 years now, you know what I'm saying, like multi-billionaire. And it's just the fact that they wouldn't give him credit,
So,
now is,
so you said he didn't put on the MAGA hat and become a billionaire?
no. No, Yeezy was already worth 1.5 billion at the beginning of this year.
Mm, mm, yeah, man.
And but see, that was the whole thing where people was making fun of him on when he went on Sway, and Sway was trying to tell him like, why don't you start your own?
Mm,
And he was like, bro, like how
yeah.
Sway? Like
House, right?
everything I've been doing, yeah, they locked him out. But then once he figured out the blueprint, he was able. I mean, what Yeezy's retail for like $300 or $400, but the resale value is like 2 grand for some. I don't even know the breads or whatever the Yeezy season ones or whatever. They off white. They $2,000.
Right.
And like I say, he said what I went platinum and I ain't even put an album out.
Yeah. 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 Nah, man. He definitely then grown it into like a huge brand, man. Well, man, what do you say, man? Like how has quarantine been out there in LA, man, out there on the West Coast?
Um, for some people, like when it comes to photography and stuff, it really really sucks. I mean, I haven't had a gig, whew, in over 60 days now. I mean, I went from doing 25 to 30 events in a month to I haven't done nothing, and it sucks because is the middle of concert season, Coachella, a whole bunch of other different type of stuff that's getting ready to go down, is basically put on hold. So you gotta you just gotta roll with it. But I mean, most people out here they work in what they would consider essential workers. So my neighbors they work in construction. Them boys still going to work. If you out on the streets, it don't look like what I'm saying. People in quarantine because they just going to work and coming back home. But uh, but but people just not hanging out. All the restaurants and stuff like that is open, but they just not accepting no dine-in. So people just going to work, going back home.
All right. But man, I know a lot of money for tourism being lost.
Oh yeah, for sure. A lot of
Yeah.
the mom and pop
Movie
shops and stuff like
premieres
that.
and everything.
Yep. Santa Monica, the Hollywood Boulevard,
Uh-huh.
everything that was a tourist Disneyland, all the stuff that was a tourist attraction is gone.
Yeah. That's crazy, man. They still got the beaches open.
They just reopened the beaches today or like a couple days ago.
Mm. Yeah, man. But I know it was really popping up in San Francisco. And eventually made its way down to LA. Uh and yeah, man, it's just crazy like to see the whole world shut down. Like we ain't never seen nothing like this before. Like, you'll see a country here and there, but like the whole world is at home. The whole world had to be shut down, man. Uh, do you think that we moving too fast to get back?
I definitely think that we're moving too fast to get back. I mean, like I said, being a study of history is nothing but a time clock. And like they say, there's nothing new under the sun. So the same thing that the world getting ready to do, or America getting ready to do, is the same thing that happened with the Spanish flu back in 1918, where they got a quasi hold on the pandemic, opened it up back up too soon, and the death toll shot up to, what I'm saying, over 2 million. So,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know,
And I know they really looking at like what it's gonna be in the fall, as we move back into to flu season and things like that. Man, like it may be like a reality that schools may not go back until 2021.
right. Right. And I mean, I know, my son about to be born in July, but he ain't going to school no time soon. But, people like yourself and the other people out there who are fathers and mothers and stepfathers and all that different type of stuff, it's gonna be hard when they say, okay, the parents have to go back to work, but the child gotta stay home. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
it's like I but okay, you send your son to school or you open back up the schools, and next thing you know, the entire school is affected with COVID, and you know what I'm saying. Let's just say half the kids in the school pass away.
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
The reason why it's gonna stay closed is because of lawsuits. That's
For
why you ain't
sure.
gonna see no basketball, no football, or no organized sports until the fall of 2021.
Man. Man. It was big, man. They shut down March Madness
Yeah,
and the
yeah.
NBA.
But they tried to do it. They some people had played some games. They was
Right.
just like no crowd. But then like a couple days later, they was like, oh no, it's canceled.
Oh yeah. I think, definitely once old boy from the Jazz
Yep.
had caught it.
Donovan
And
Mitchell.
yeah, him and what's the other dude? Gobert.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, once they had caught it and was spreading it, it was like, oh yeah, like
yeah.
man, whoever would have thought, what I'm saying, we see like a year without March Madness. Uh
Football, no basketball, ain't nothing on right now. Not even cornhole. But see what's stupid, right?
he
I
said
mean,
that
this
right
right here,
there.
bro. This the only thing that's gonna protect you from droplets. This is an N95 mask. You know what I'm saying? So it don't matter if you put your shirt up, you could wear all the face masks and shit that you want. it's not gonna stop droplets. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So unless you got medical access to medical supplies, putting them face masks and stuff on, it's only gonna it could lessen the chance, but it's not gonna stop you. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Right. Man, could you see like a scenario to where like businesses kind of operate like they doing now to where like everything is like takeout only and still like not have any school or anything like that?
Yep.
Cause
Some businesses like my boy, bro. I was trying to tell him like, I work in the I work in a professional setting, and like when I need to go get a haircut, I may not have time to wait, you know what I'm saying, in line 2 hours or something like that. So going by appointment only, you say, okay, appointment, instead of charging $20, you could charge 35, you know what I'm saying, and make up for the time. So, people I know that's cutting, it's like, man, I ain't never going back to the normal schedule. You know what I'm saying? So you got, I mean, just consider it like a company, right? I can
right,
have the same people doing the same work. Okay, yeah, work started at 8. You need to log into your computer by 8 o'clock. But I
right,
could cut my overhead down by, you know what I'm saying, instead of a 50,000 square foot building, I could have a 5. And if
right,
you need to come into the office, you know what I'm saying, you still got a workstation here, but I don't need all this overhead. So
right, right, right,
I think a lot of businesses are gonna go back and review their business model so where they could basically cut overhead and say, hey, you know what I'm saying, this is the things and stuff that I need you to do.
right.
Because coming into the office and having the thumb under you isn't, you know what I'm saying, the same.
Right. For sure. And I think a lot of businesses have found that they employees can be just as productive, you know what I'm saying, at home as they are in the office.
Right. Sometimes even more.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
even though work may be from 8 to 5, you sitting around the crib 6, 7 o'clock. You know what I'm saying? You may still be working on stuff just because you just still at home and it don't feel like you just so tired, man. I don't want to
Right.
deal with this. You know?
Right. Oh yeah, no, I saw like a study the other day that basically employees are actually doing more hours from home than they are, you know, saying in the office. Because a lot of people, saying they do their job and then they leave, and but kind of like you said, we kind of like now always on our computers and everything like that. So you don't really think nothing about responding to emails or saying anything like that that may come through.
Right. Right.
But yeah, definitely the way that they doing business, I think a lot of it is gonna change. Man, you think we gonna they gonna bring back the drive-in movies?
Some of them is starting to open up right now. I mean, in Texas, it's kind of a thing of the past, but they got some here. They closed right now. I had drove by one the other day, but I seen some. I think somewhere in the Midwest where they saying that they about to open back up. I mean, it's kind of like the same thing. It will be about the same risk of going to the grocery store.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Nah. Like you say, it's the grocery store. That seemed like the one place where it's still kind of open season.
Right.
I'm saying
Right.
somewhat business is normal, man.
Right.
Uh, but yeah, man, see, it's all good, bro, man. I appreciate you for coming through, man.
Oh yeah, man. What else? That's it.
Yeah, man. See, that's all I got. You know what I'm saying? Unless I'm gonna roast your avocado head looking
Say, man, don't neither one of our beards grow, so you can shut up. Over there looking like
at.
over there looking like George LaRue, fake
Oh,
ass
man.
future.
Yeah, man. Talk about you know what I'm saying? That's all right, man. We all know that I'm the favorite. You know what I'm saying? And
Yes, yes, you are.
it's
Nah, but in reality, about what I'm saying, photography and videography. I started off doing photos, but now I moved into cinematography, where I'm learning, what I'm saying, like how to set up lighting, well, how to do gaffing, how to do like key grip and all this other different type of stuff, so that you know I mean, just like with anything, the same people that I came in the game with, I just outworked them. So,
Right.
I had rose to a level that some people felt that I was getting more shine than them, and they started, trying to lock me out. But every time I seen the door closing, I just went ahead and just went down another hallway, So it's like, okay, I'm doing photos over here. Okay, now let me start doing music video. Okay, I can do a music video. Let me do a short. You know what I'm saying? Okay, I can do a short. I could draw a little bit. Let me do an animated short. So I got a relationship with a Mod Best. That's the guy from Star Wars, Jar Jar Binks.
Yeah.
So you know what I'm saying, we got some stuff that's about to come out. He got his podcast, and like I said, bro, my very first interview was with Daz Dillinger. You know what I'm saying?
Mm,
Like I just came out the gate swinging. Like I
yeah.
I got to interview John B. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like how many people can say that? You know what I'm saying?
Right. 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 Right.
Like we was just kicking it. I got to interview the dude from DRS. You know that song Gangsta Lean?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
I, I got to interview him. You know what I'm saying? I got to do interviews and sit downs with Yuck Mouth. You know what I'm saying? Just people I never thought that I would have access to. And my homegirl, who I was the one that's getting me the gig, she kind of like my agent. Um, she the one that told me I need to start doing interviews.
Right.
So
Right.
but I was like, I don't really know what to like ask these people. And this is what I want to say about people platforms. You know what I'm saying? Hey man, you gotta use your platform responsibly.
Facts. Facts.
I found myself. I used to really like Vlad TV. I don't like it no more.
Go on now.
Um, but see, I understand what it is. You know what I'm saying? Vlad is not a culture vulture. He's a person that's not from the culture. So when he asking questions, it may seem like a cop because he really don't understand.
Right.
So he asking questions from a point of ignorance, you know what I'm saying? Because he may not know, you know what I'm saying? If I be talking about, yeah, but man, that boy was beating down the block, knocking pitches off the wall, you know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Right. Right.
Like
Right.
you would really have to go into the lingo and the music in order to be able to decipher what, you know what I'm saying, this person is actually talking about. So
Right.
around if you didn't grow up in that environment or know people, you know what I'm saying? Like, I got friends that are in Jersey, I got friends that are in New York, I got friends that are in Atlanta, and I got friends that are in Cali. So,
Right.
I mean, something that just happened to me, about a year ago, I got banged on out here in LA. And at first, it was kind of confusing because I didn't know the lingo. Homie was like, "Where you from?" And I'm like, "Texas."
Right.
And he was kind of thrown for a loop. He was like, okay. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like he didn't really know how to respond to it. You know what I'm saying? Because I didn't know how to respond to it, but then
Right.
I later found out that's like, hey, you know what I'm saying, where you from? You want to be like, I'm from, you know what I'm saying, over here, I rep this, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
He was like looking, but I was kind of confused too, because I was like, bro, like, I mean, he obviously looked older than me, and it's like,
Right.
bro, I'm just literally doing a shoot in the park. You come up to the park on a Sunday afternoon to just like start some shit.
Right.
So you know what I'm saying? It was kind of confusing, but then I was like, okay, like you know what I'm saying? Like this is how like people move and interact and do stuff like this, you know what I'm saying, out here.
Right.
So, it's definitely been an exciting journey. You know what I'm saying? I got to work on different movie sets. I got to meet different people and have relationships with these different people. To the point where they just, hey man, I need you to do this for me. They just call me up and you know what I'm saying, we get it handled.
Yeah.
So I mean, hey, even you remember we used to listen to Ice Cube, you know what I'm saying, all the time back in the day. Yay, yay.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then kind of find out, bro, what ended up happening. We end up going in and doing the Ice Cube concert. You need to talk
Yeah.
about that. How
Yeah.
was that for you?
Yeah, 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 man. That was that was big, man. Just because I'm a huge Cube fan. I'm a huge Bone fan. And I mean, I wasn't even really up on like Roddy Rich or any of some of the other cats that was performing.
Down
I heard
Typically.
the songs here and there or whatever, but I never, I don't really care. What I'm saying, what boys got going on, what they look like or whatever. But man, there was some few cats that I got to see. What I'm saying, that was doing their thing, and also just kind of being in the environment out there because just out here. I mean, we'll have media at events and things like that, but like out there, like it was real. Like for real, like and the thing that was that I saw was the dopest was that like cats wasn't even tripping on each other. Man, like I'm out there, I'm saying, with my camera or whatever, I'm saying, people boys, oh man, making sure they wasn't in each other's way, what I'm saying, would be willing to trade times and trade spots, what I'm saying, and things
Right.
like that. Wasn't nobody trying to snatch anybody's stuff or whatever, what I'm saying? Like you can set your bag down or whatever, and what I'm saying, boys are,
Right.
like everybody out there just doing the thing, man. But yeah, man, you know,
Whole
s-
bunch of black people doing
yeah,
shit.
yeah, man. Yeah, man, and just being that man with Q and Bone, DJ Quick, like
Quick.
those are, yeah, man, those are legends, man. Those are
Sugar
legends.
Free.
Come, come on, man, like legends,
Yep.
legends, man, and that was
But them are my homies. You know what I'm saying? Like
right.
I be with Quick. I be with Quick all the time. I be with Sugar Free all the time. That's Pomona's finest right there.
Yeah,
So I live in the IE, so I'm always out here with these dudes. But
yeah,
for a lot of people, that would be a once in a lifetime operation.
right, for
Like,
sure,
bro, like literally, that could be like every month for me. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right,
I go and see these dudes set like all the time. So it's like, getting to work. That was my first time, like working with Ice Cube in that setting. But it was just the fact that I got to take, my older brother and his media company and get him
yeah,
in, so you
yeah,
could see
yeah,
like
oh
nah,
yeah,
like
oh,
I
oh yeah,
really know these
oh yeah, oh
people.
yeah, boy,
Like
showed
how
up,
people do. They
you
be
know,
like,
media
yeah,
passes,
I know these
good.
dudes. I'll be like, hey, nah, hey, this is my brother. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
stopping people in the highway. Guy was like, what's up, bro? Like, oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Hey, this is my brother. Hey, you know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Nice to meet you. Whatever, whatever, whatever. And you're like, oh,
so.
you come through. Hey, you gotta go. Hey, you gotta go. Hey, you good, you good, you good, you
Yeah,
good.
yeah, but yeah, man, it was just it was a good time, man. That's why I'm trying to get back out there. What I'm saying, as long as Corona don't end the world,
Right.
that I'm trying to get back to Cali, man. I always have a good time whenever I'm out there. And like you said, even in the places I go, like you said, like cats. I guess cats recognize that I'm not from there, so
Right.
it be and I treat them with respect, so they give me respect.
Right.
And
I
that's
mean, we went to a couple different things when you was out here.
yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. Nah, man, I'm loving it, man. Man, last question I got for you, bro. Like this, like man, with this day and age, man, we done seen how this whole like Corona wave has been affecting communities of color hard. Not just because the virus is more deadly for us, but just because the community suffers from um, historical health disparities. What I'm saying? And a lot of things already exist. You know what I'm saying? Lack of access to care, lack of access to good foods and things like that, man. Like, man, what's your message, man, to the people out there, man, that's just looking to see like how we gonna persevere through this current day and age?
Uh, First off, I'm gonna answer your question, but I'm gonna talk about why we more susceptible. You got to look at a lot of black people still have service jobs that they deemed essential. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Whether
For
that's
sure.
sanitation, food service, all this different type of stuff coming
Right.
into contact. And then,
Right.
like you said, the underlying health problems, whether it be COPD, high blood pressure, and that's the type of things that they saying is the underlying the COVID COVID-19 exacerbates the underlying issues, and that's what's causing death. It causes it to speed up. So, my message to the people is that you got to remember what's most important, and that's your legacy. So it's your time to be spending your time with family, and teaching your kids, loving the ones what I'm saying that are close to you, and staying safe, because at the end of the day, the only thing that's gonna be left of you is your memories. And I know around here I've been saying for months how, I'm gonna trim the trees in the backyard. I'm gonna fertilize the grass. I'm gonna take time to clean up the garage. What I'm saying? I'm gonna organize things in my closet. But I'm on the go, 24/7. And I've been at home, what I'm saying, for
All right.
over 2 months now, just working from home, and I still ain't did shit. but 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 it's kind of a wake up call. It's like, okay, what I'm saying? Like, hey, I cleaned up the garage. It only took me 30 minutes.
Right.
So, and this is my studio. I
Right.
got paper backdrops and all this different type of stuff for product photography. But I cleaned up and it only took me 30 minutes, but in my head it's like, man, it's gonna take me 2 hours. So you know, it's just staying down with your folk. That's it. you
Yeah.
know, don't be out there, don't rush to get back too soon, man. Because what it's showing people is that you don't need all this stuff. I mean, I really stopped watching football when I moved to the West Coast almost 8 years ago, just because the games come on too early on Sunday. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Or like, I mean, the basketball game come on at 3:30. I mean, I'll still be at work or out doing something, or maybe I might be at the game. So I just I once I removed the need to be entertained from my life, I was able to be more productive. Because
Right.
I mean, right now I be sitting around playing video games, but before, when I was on the grind, I didn't have time to, what I'm saying, sit down and do things that entertain me, because I'm the one that produced the entertainment. So
Right.
now when you seeing the things that you could live without, yeah, it sucked not having basketball and all this other different type of stuff. But you don't need them things. Your Sunday rolls just fine without you spending 8 hours from 12 p.m. to 8 p.m. watching, what I'm saying?
Right.
People run
Right.
up and down and bash each other in the head.
Right. Facts. Facts.
So,
Facts. Facts, man. Facts.
but I mean, this should be a call to other people, you should have 6 months worth of your savings. And when I say savings, that's, what I'm saying, mortgage, car note, insurance, bills, all that different type of stuff. So whatever it is, if it's, you can't save your way out of poverty. You know what I'm saying? For the people that's in that. So you're gonna have to find another means in order to uplift yourself. So when stuff like this does happen, you're not in a disadvantaged position. You know what I'm saying? I got enough water to last me, what I'm saying, at least like 2 months. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? We got toilet paper, we got, what I'm saying, we got MREs, we got a whole bunch of different type of stuff up in here. You
Right.
know, I you know, I, I'm in my 30s, bro. I'm a
Mhm.
homebody anyway. I like being
Right.
at the crib, but
Right.
I don't really have to go out unless I really, really want to. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Or it's something specific that I need to get. So,
Right.
this should be a lesson in emergency preparedness that, boys always got to be prepared for the long haul. So, if that for some people means stacking extra cases of water up in the closet, or, what I'm saying, stocking up on non-perishables, brushing up on life surviving skills, how to drain water from the water heater, and doing all this other different type of stuff, water purification units,
Yeah. Yeah.
all that different type of stuff. They need to have gas masks and ammunition and guns, and
Facts. Facts, bro. Facts,
you
man.
know, because them boys
Yeah.
are talking about martial law, but stupid niggas like, boy, the army don't have enough. The National Guard does not have enough people to lock down one neighborhood in Houston.
Right.
So there's no way that they could put tanks on the streets, 288 and
Right,
make
right,
boys
right,
be like, no, you need to go home. Like, what?
right.
That's illogical and stupid. You know what I'm
Right,
saying?
right, right. For sure, for
Uh,
sure. Yeah. And then and just across the country, man. It's a big spread out country, man. Like you said, just imagine like trying to lock down Texas in itself.
yeah, bro.
You know, that
Bro,
California in itself, that like California's so huge.
right. But you see, that's why they're going into Space Force, man.
See. I'm through with you, man. I'm through with you, man. How could people check you out, man, and see all your works, man, and what you got popping?
You can definitely follow my Instagram, Akashic underscore photos, or visit my website, www.akashicphotography.com, or you can hit me on the hip, 281-830-8004. Hit Akashic up on the low, because Akashic is about to blow, baby. You
You're
know,
a fool, man. You're a fool, man. Oh man, hey, bro, we definitely gonna have to do it again, man.
yeah.
You know
Look
what
out
I'm
for
saying?
my album. Look out for my album coming soon. Called Basic Training. Called
uh
Basic Training.
uh
Yeah.
yeah, man. Next time we might have to have color on too, man. Look,
No niggas. No, no niggas. No niggas. But hey, I just want to say, man, I really respect your platform. Melanated and Illuminated is syndicated across the world. You know what I'm saying? I see y'all boys be in like 57 different countries. Y'all boys be out there, you know what I'm saying, putting on, really living and standing behind the things that y'all talk about, the melanated men of action, all the different groups and type of stuff like that. So, what I'm saying, I salute and my hat goes off to you guys. So, I
Hey,
really
man,
respect it.
I appreciate you, man. And like, man, I learned quickly, like doing this, like it's not about the views you have, but the impact. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
Like people may look at some of the different things that I have and, maybe like, oh, it has this view or that view. But, what I'm saying, just the amount of love that I receive, like you said, from people all around the world that see the guests that we bring on and research and look up some of the things that we talk about and, have a chance to see the different artists, how we collaborate with all these different platforms and all these different people, and people
yeah,
appreciate it. So, what I'm saying, that's kind of one of the things that definitely helps fuel me to keep going more so than like how many views or looks or likes. Cause like I don't even really look, what I'm saying, at none
right,
of that, man. But, just having the ability to connect with others and have other people connect with me and, the bread and all that stuff that come in other ways, what I'm saying, got that,
right,
what I'm saying,
right,
covered.
right,
But you know what I'm saying, like you do it, you passionate, and people gonna fuck with you, man.
right, right,
So,
right. Over time, you know what I'm saying? It's the steady grind. You
for
know what I'm
sure,
saying? So it's what is not a lot of people get wrapped up in the, like you said, the viewership. So some people, if they think they'll get 200 likes on IG within the first couple hours, they take it down. Like, nah, bro. Like, this is really a documentary. It's a
for sure,
marathon. You know what I'm saying?
sure.
Not a sprint. Videos I posted a year ago. Sometimes out of the bloom they take off and go from 1,200 to 12,000 views in, what I'm saying, a matter of weeks. So
Right,
it's not about it's about creating a catalog to document 100 years in the future. And
for
that was
sure.
the biggest thing about my photography. You know what I'm saying? Like Nipsey, he gone. And it ain't nothing nobody could do to bring him back. But
Right,
I'm the one with the pictures and the video stuff of all the things that we've done. You know what I'm saying?
right.
And that was the same thing about Juice World. And see, this is what I'll never do again. I went to Meg the Stallion thing to shoot her, and I said I'm gonna catch Juice World at Rolling Loud, and he was dead before Rolling Loud even happened.
Yeah,
I was with Kodak and Mac Miller at the J. Cole concert, and the next couple days Mac Miller was dead.
damn.
You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, really, you gotta take time and do what that little voice inside is saying, because every time I go against it, you know what I'm saying, I end up getting the short end of the stick. So I listen to the God in me first, and and that's how it always come out.
For sure, man. Oh, man, peace to you, bro, man. We gonna do it again, man. You know what I'm saying? Make sure that y'all go check out my bro, man. He always doing this thing, man. Oh man, another episode up, another episode down, man. You know what I'm saying? It's your brother iTunes Rob. Make sure y'all check us out on Melanated and Illuminated. And man, I'm gonna leave y'all on some of this big facts, man, because we remember when cats used to really rap, man. You know what I'm saying? We're trying to bring that back. You know what I'm saying? All right, I'll let your boy. Peace.
Welcome to the Immaculate. It's become apparent that the cold need addressing, but I ain't talking about medicine. This is what can happen if you dare open the packaging. It's baffling, informative, explanative. That's adjectives for adjectives. But if these rappers ever use a name as adverbs, we going past words. Forgive me for my semantics. I get to smoking this gas and my methods get all Socratic like. Can I appeal to your intellect? Where the brain waves intersect is where I interject. Then my inner mind and yours intertwine. And it's intimate. You matching energies with an entity. This is infinite. In layman terms, bitch, I talk slick. Conversation rule a nation, bitch, this bullshit. Oh, prophetic with the phonetics. The penmanship make it perfect. The passion make it poetic. Yeah. Man, I'm just displaying the skill. Just so I can hear y'all say, damn, it was ill. I remember when we used to really rap. No, back in the gap. I mean, niggas used to really rap. I mean, we used to really get it. Used to freestyle and fall off if nobody backed door. Hold up, I'ma bring it back. Hold up, screw. That's when niggas used to really rap. I mean, niggas used to get down. I mean, we really used to really rap. Yeah. Used to freestyle and fall off if nobody backed door. Hold up. I'ma bring it back. Bring that bitch back, man. I'm ready.